What's going on, everyone? And I just noticed that I have a giant bruise forming above my left eye right here. And I know exactly what it's from. So y'all know your boy's a hooper. I be playing pickup basketball, 5-6 nights a week. Shout out to the boys at Three Oaks and everywhere else I play. But this is from my boy Connor today. Shout out to Connor, a.k.a. Traffic Cone, a.k.a. TC, a.k.a. Con Air for all the air balls. But we was going for a rebound. The boy can't get off the ground. So when he tried to smack the ball out of the air, he missed and caught me literally like an inch from my eye. And thank God he missed the eye, because I've been poked in the eye many times. One time so bad that I literally went blind in this eye for like a whole minute. Like, it was to the point where I went like this and my eye was open, and I was asking people, I said, yo, is my eye open? They're like, yeah. And I couldn't see out of it. Like, there was a solid 5 minutes where I accepted the fact that I would grow up blind the rest of my life. This was maybe like 3 years ago. But slowly but surely, the vision, I saw the light starting to open up. But yeah, luckily he missed my eye, so whatever. I'll deal with a little bit of a bruise for now. But anyways, we here today reacting to a Bleacher Report article, one that I just saw Kenny Beecham do earlier today, which I did have plans to do this. I just didn't get around to it. But I also really wasn't trying to do another Bleacher Report article because I just did one 2 days ago. But I am working on a pretty big series now that takes a lot of time. And I'm trying to post every single day because y'all know I'm grinding to get 5,000 subs by the start of next season. So if y'all want to help me out, like this video, share, hit the subscribe button. It's completely free. So I do appreciate all the support. But yeah, I want to post every day. So I figure let's react to an article. It's a bit quicker, not as much editing as a lot of my other videos. So if y'all want to check that out, check out my video from yesterday, the Jimmy Butler video. I love the intro. In fact, I think the whole video as a whole is very great. You know, one of my better ones in a while. But it's not performing that well. I think maybe because I had it scheduled to premiere at 11 a.m. and usually the videos that I post at nights do better. But it's like the Jimmy Butler stuff with Philly was more relevant like yesterday. That's why I tried posting it earlier today, and I don't know if I should have just waited till later. But anyways, make sure y'all go check out that Jimmy Butler video. And in my last Bleacher Report article, I said that I hate long intros. Screw it. We did a long one today. We've been talking for over 3 minutes. We didn't even get into the article, but we're gonna do that now. This one is called One New Trade Idea for Every NBA Team. Now, I did glance through a couple of these, including the Heat one, and the ones I saw I did not like. Maybe that's because today's article is from a guy named Zach Buckley. It's not our usual Bleacher Report homeboy Andy Bailey. So maybe this guy don't know as much, but we gonna see. We're gonna get into it right now. Starting with the first one, they have the Atlanta Hawks sending Trae Young to the Pelicans for Brandon Ingram. Obviously, two guys that have been talked about a lot. Obviously, two guys that I wouldn't mind on the Heat. More so Trae Young than Ingram. But we've talked about those guys a ton, and they'll have their own separate videos eventually. But from the Hawks and the Pelicans perspective, I mean, I guess I get why the Hawks would do this. They need to blow up that backcourt. They've tried it for a couple years now. They haven't got close to competing. Missed the playoffs the last couple years. It's obviously that fit doesn't work. And I do think Brandon Ingram would be a nice fit. You know, you're losing a lot of scoring with Trae Young, but you are also getting great offense with Brandon Ingram, a guy that can play the 3 or play the 4. If you keep Capella, he's a guy that maybe can play sort of a stretch 4. And obviously with DeJounte Murray, who can play on ball, you have Brandon Ingram off the ball, could spot up from over the place. That's a great fit for them. From the Pelicans' perspective, they desperately need a point guard. The problem is, how are you going to put Trae Young next to CJ McCollum? I mean, the defenses are eating as we speak. The second they see New Orleans, or the offenses, are eating as they speak. Because when they see they got the Pelicans matched up on the calendar, they know they are about to have a night. Because that backcourt is just way too small to play defense. So, I mean, a lot of the other names I heard for the Pelicans, Darius Garland, too small. You know, so they definitely need sort of a bigger point guard. I know Josh Giddey, for example, has been a name we've heard about a lot. I think he could potentially fit nice in New Orleans because he fits the timeline. He could pass the ball to get it to their, shooters, and Trey Murphy and CJ McCollum. There's not great spacing with Giddey and Zion. I get it, but still, just an idea. And we're not going to talk about every trade for that long, by the way. For example, this one, where the Celtics gets Jaden Springer in the 30th pick. Or the Celtics send Springer in the 30th pick to the Bulls for Torrey Craig. I'm going to feel bad for Bulls fans if this happens because we were talking about Kenny Beecham earlier. He's obviously very frustrated with that front office. If this is the move the Bulls make the first time they acquire a player in over 2 years, Bulls fans are not going to be happy. They're going to blow it up. From the Celtics, Torrey Craig's a good player. Can't lose there. This one is the Brooklyn Nets doing a Mikal Bridges trade. They also send him and Schroeder over to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland. What the hell? What? Okay, so if you're the Nets, you're trading Mikal because they decide they don't want to build around him. They want to blow it up, start from the beginning. And you're trading Bridges for just Darius Garland? The Nets turned down the trade of 4 first-round picks earlier for Mikal Bridges, and now they're going to settle for Darius Garland? That team's going to suck with just Mikal Bridges. They're going to suck with just Darius Garland. I get it, Darius is probably a couple years younger, I believe, but if they want to rebuild, this is not the trade to do it, and I certainly don't think Darius Garland is a future superstar they can build around one day. That's a stupid trade. From the Cavs' perspective, major dub. They fixed the backcourt question there with Spida and DG to PG, and then they get the small forward they've been looking for forever. It hasn't been Isaac Okoro. Max Strus has been okay and consistent. Mikal would obviously fit seamlessly there. That defense would be nasty. Jesus. But that's a dumb trade for the Nets. Moving on. The Charlotte Hornets, Seth Curry and a couple of picks to the Lakers for Hood Schifino. That's simply the Hornets buying in on a guy in Hood Schifino who didn't get a lot of PT last year. Picked 1 pick before Jaime Jaquez. Sorry, Lakers. But yeah, this is a nothing trade for both teams. The Lakers report came out today. They're looking to get some more depth. I guess that's what Seth Curry would be. The Chicago Bulls are sending Vucevic, Caruso to the Warriors for Wiggins and a second and first round pick. Okay, Bulls fans, I know, do not like Nikola Jovic. He's a guy that I kind of do enjoy, even though he's almost 35, shockingly, right? And so they don't believe he has a lot of value. So if they can get, Wiggins and a first, to be honest, what this is right here, now that I'm thinking about it, this is Vucevic as a negative asset. They're attaching Alex Caruso, who's on a great contract for 1 more year, who can, recoup a first-round pick in himself. They are essentially attaching him to get rid of Vucevic to also bring in a negative asset, which is Andrew Wiggins at this point. So this is essentially 2 teams swapping negative assets. And if the Bulls were going to rebuild, would you rather have Wiggins, who's a bit younger and maybe can get back to his all-star starter form? I don't know. Wiggins is not that young either, and I'm sure he's got more years on his contract than Vucevic, who I think just has 2 years left at like $20 million a year. Wiggins is getting paid way more than that. Like this, Wiggins might have the most untradeable contract in the NBA. Not the worst, but the most untradeable. If I'm the Bulls, this is not the move. And if I'm the Warriors, yeah, great. You're getting Caruso, who's a great player, and Vucevic, who won't have to get a ton of PT there, but I think he can contribute off the bench or in a small starting role. The Cleveland Cavaliers are trading Jared Allen to the Pelicans for basically Daniels, Larry Nance, and the 2021 pick. So the Cavs get Larry Nance back. Jared Allen. I don't know. It's like the Pelicans didn't really play Valanciunas a lot because he wasn't too great as a spacer. I know he could hit the 3 even more than Jared Allen. So I just don't know how Jared Allen is going to fit there. I understand the Pelicans, didn't play Valanciunas that much, not just because of the spacing, but also just because he's not great defensively. Jared Allen is a beast defensively in the paint, but offensively, that's not a great fit with Zion. A first-round pick for Allen, I feel like he could get you more. Dyson Daniels is an okay young player. Larry Nance is just sort of a decent role player at this point for a championship team. I don't love this for either team, but Jared Allen's the best player of this one, so I guess the Pelicans will win it there. The Dallas Mavericks send Josh Green to the Nets for Dorian Finney-Smith. So the Mavericks are trying to get DFS back. I know the Mavs could use some more defense and size. I know they helped a lot of that at the trade deadline, getting PJ Washington, who's been great defensively. Same with Daniel Gafford. But Dorian was very good for them, had his best seasons in the league with them. His 3-point percentage dropped off a lot once he went to Brooklyn. So I could see the Mavs wanted to do something like this. And the Nets essentially get a nicer young piece for DFS, who's an expiring contract. So this could be a win for both teams. Maybe the best one we saw so far. The Denver Nuggets trade Michael Porter Jr. to the Raptors for Bruce Brown-Olenek and an early second-round pick and a first-round pick. So we know the Nuggets are sad they lost Bruce Brown. This one they'd be getting him back, but for MPJ. A year ago, you would have thought MPJ could have got you a lot more value than, a early second round pick and a first round pick and Bruce Brown. But he soured a lot of people's minds in the playoffs. He was terrible. So from the Nuggets perspective, I don't know. I feel like they're losing the better player. Bruce Brown is nice, but Michael Porter Jr., he's part of what made that team so difficult to guard because they can essentially start, 3, 6, 10-plus guys. So I don't know. I don't love this from the Nuggets perspective, but from the Raptors, it's nice because they get another nice young piece to build around their core with Barrett and Quickly and those guys over there and Scotty Barnes. Moving on, the Detroit Pistons send Isaiah Stewart, Quentin Grimes, and the 5th pick in the draft for Kuzma. If you're the Pistons, you're better off taking someone at 5 and hoping they can blossom into a superstar than getting Kyle Kuzma. This is a dumb trade. This is a really dumb trade. And if it's the Wizards, it's a dub. You're offloading that giant Kuzma contract, and now you get to take a shot in the lottery to get a star. Love this for the Wizards. Hate this for the Pistons. The Golden State Warriors, sent Andrew Wiggins to the Raptors for Kelly Olynyk and Jalen McDaniels. Again, if I'm the Raptors, no. Maybe the only reason they do it is because they can get Wiggins back to his home country, thinking maybe he plays better. I doubt it. And if you're the Warriors, huge dub. Any trade you can get rid of Wiggins is a huge dub. And they get a couple guys who I think can play in the rotation. The Houston Rockets are trading Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason, and the 3rd pick in the draft for Jeremy Grant in number 14. This is something I like for the Rockets. They went all in on trying to be competitive. They said, we are not going to tank. They gave a lot of money to Fred VanVleet. They have an emerging Alperen Sengun. They absolutely hit on Amen Thompson. And now they want to add to that by bringing in Jeremy Grant. I absolutely love it. They would have an excellent starting lineup. You got Freddie at the 1, put Jalen at the 2. Shoot, you could even put Jeremy at the 4 next to Alperen at the 5. They could have I know I'm missing someone there as well. Aren't I in Amen? Where are they gonna start? They're gonna start Amen at the 3. He could kind of play point 2 a lot, but I love this for the Rockets. They are putting together lots of really great players that mesh well together. They almost made the playoffs, and I just love the fact that their young guys can get experience. And you see what's happening when you are putting Jalen Green and Alperen in a relatively winning situation, and they have been flourishing. And I'm anti-tank. You saw what happened with the 76ers. Trust the process, my ass. Haven't been out of the second round since. And for that reason, I do like this for the Houston Rockets. And for the Trailblazers, 3rd pick in the draft. Better chance to hit on someone, I guess. It's kind of funny that they are trading away that Jeremy Grant contract 1 year after giving him that massive deal. I understand he's probably slightly overpaid. But to be able to dump that, kind of start clean and get the 3rd pick, I do like this for Portland as well, but it's screw Joe Cronin for life. This one is Jarris Walker and Isaiah Jackson to the Chicago Bulls for Alex Caruso. So obviously this is the Indiana Pacers here. Easy, right? Pacers, one of the best offense of all time in the regular season. They're getting one of the best perimeter defenders in the league in Caruso. Dub for them. And from the Chicago Bulls, I don't know. Jarris Walker's good, right? Isaiah Jackson is whatever. But I would like to see the Bulls get some picks so they can start to rebuild through the draft. So this is okay for the Bulls, but for Caruso, I do believe they can do better, especially since he's only making like $9 million a year. The Clippers are trading Bones Highland to the Hornets for Seth Curry in the number 2 pick. All this is, Clippers are trying to win a ring. They're trying to get some depth. Same thing we saw with the Lakers earlier, getting Seth Curry. And this would be the Hornets taking on another guy who's had some off the court questions. I don't know too much. I just know Denver got rid of him for a reason. I don't know. The Hornets need less drama. I don't love it for them. And for the Clippers, it's whatever. The Lakers are sending Austin Reeves, Roy Hachimura, Vanderbilt, Hood Schifino, and 2 first-round picks to the Lakers for Jimmy Butler and Thomas Bryant. So they really want to bring Thomas Bryant back home that bad, huh? Nah, obviously, there's been a lot of discourse on trading Jimmy Butler recently. Make sure y'all check out my video from yesterday. Like I was saying, I'd love to get at least 3 first-round picks for Jimmy. In this case, you're getting one young guy I kind of like in Austin Reeves, but this trade don't make no sense. What you going to do with Austin Reeves and Tyler Hero and Terry Rozier? There'd be a lot of other deals, I understand, but the only thing that makes sense here is if the Heat were to flip this for Donovan Mitchell, but Just going based off what this says, this is a stupid trade for the Miami Heat. For the Lakers, I love it. Jimmy Butler is a superstar, at least for another year. That team's got championship aspirations, but this is an L for the Miami Heat. But dub for the Lakers. The Grizzlies are sending Brandon Clark, Jonathan Conchar, Zaire Williams, and the 39th pick to the Jazz for John Collins. This is something that could be fun. You get Ja Morant back in there with the athleticism of John Collins. You got Jaren Jackson Jr., who will get 19 fouls in 7 minutes, but that'd still be a pretty decent starting front court, I guess, right? You put Collins at the 4, Jaren at the 5. I like that. I like that from Memphis a lot. He fits the timeline well. I think a lot of people wrote off John Collins when he went to Utah. I know he's on a big deal, but I still think he's a better player than what he's shown there. If you put him in a winning system, I personally believe he will flourish. I think he'll be more, toned to use his tools to be a great defender. He hopefully can get the three-point shot back to what we seen a few years ago. I like him as a player. This is a dub for the Grizzlies. And for the Utah Jazz, I mean, they're getting off John Collins' contract. Didn't seem to work out over there. Don't love any of these players, and it's just a second-round pick. So not a lot of value there, but I'm not sure how much John Collins' value is nowadays. This one I saw already. It's a stupid-ass trade. It's the Miami Heat sending Duncan Robinson in the 15th pick in the draft to the Spurs for Keldon Johnson. I read the description here too. This idiot who wrote I'm sorry, I shouldn't call no one an idiot. Maybe he's just not familiar with the new Duncan Robinson's game. So I'm sorry, Zach Buckley, if that was your name. But listen, he talks about how the Heat need more scoring. So get Keldon Johnson because he averaged 22 points per game 2 years ago. Like, Keldon averaged 15 points a game last year. That's almost as much as Duncan Robinson. And there was large stretches this season where Duncan Robinson was the best offensive player in the Miami Heat. That's not an exaggeration. So I wouldn't trade Duncan for Keldon Johnson straight up, let alone attach a first-round pick. You know how bad the Heat spacing is? The only shooters they got is Tyler Hero, and I guess Terry now, and Duncan Robinson. So you're going to trade one of those three guys for Keldon Johnson, who shot like 33% from 3 last year? That just makes no damn sense. This is someone that literally said, oh, Keldon scored 22 points a game. The Heat need scoring, put him together. No, that's stupid. I don't know how these national people get jobs doing this. They didn't watch Duncan Robinson last year. The improvement in his game was amazing. He's not just a movement three-point shooter now. He can drive. He can pick and lob. He can pick and roll pass. And he can find guys back door on the cut. The floater game, left-hand finish, right-hand finish. He is so versatile offensively. I know he had back issues to end the season, which might still be a question going forward. But this is a terrible trade for the Miami Heat. And for the Spurs, dub. Obviously, you get another pick in this draft. That'd be 3 inside the top 15, and you'd get some more spacing for Wemby. Terrible trade for the Heat, though. Moving on, the Milwaukee Bucks. They're sending Bobby Portis and Andre Jackson Jr. to the Warriors for GP2, Moses Moody, and a couple of second-round picks. Again, all these trades just seem to be the Warriors getting depth. They get nice depth here, some size. Bobby Portis, obviously a good player. And then, what is it here? And then the Bucks are getting, some more defense. Well, they're losing Bobby Portis, one of the better defenders, to get GP, who's a decent guard defender, and Moses Moody got some potential. I guarantee you, Bucks fans, they love Bobby. They look at this, they think this is a stupid trade. I mean, I'm not that high on Moses Moody. He's got some potential, but the Bucks are trying to win now, so that's a stupid trade. Moving on, the Timberwolves send Naz Reid to. I don't even got to read the rest of this. Naz Reid. The Pelicans are not, the Wolves are not trading Naz Reid, let alone for Dyson Daniels and Jordan Hawkins, who shot like 12% last year. That's a stupid ass trade for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They would never do that. The Pelicans send Brandon Ingram to the Pacers for Miles Turner and T.J. McConnell in the number 32nd pick. So you take the Pacers that already scored a ton, and you bring in another scorer and get rid of their 2 best defenders. This is a dumb trade for the Pacers. You see what I'm talking about now? How these trades are stupid? Why the hell would the Pacers do this? Miles Turner and T.J. McConnell just were 2 of their best players in the entire postseason, and now they're going to trade them for Brandon Ingram, who was not even healthy to end last season, that helped something that they were already good at? That's stupid. Who are the Pacers going to replace Miles Turner with? Who? That's a dumb trade. Huge dub for the Pelicans, though. Huge dub. They could actually start a stretch 5 next to Zion. Obviously, T.J. McConnell's awesome. Yeah, that's a nice trade for the the Pelicans or the not the Pelicans. It's a nice trade for the Pelicans, but that's dumb for everyone else. The New York Knicks are sending Mitchell Robinson to the Warriors for GP2 Moses Moody in a first round pick. The Warriors are giving up a first round pick for Mitchell Robinson. I don't know. The Warriors clearly need size. That's been kind of the theme of this article here, but it's fine. Again, the Warriors get some depth, and the Knicks, I mean, they don't need Robinson, right? He was hurt to end last season. Hartenstein's been really good. I think he's a free agent, though, but they'll re-sign him. The Knicks will. I don't know. That's not bad value for Mitch Robinson. I don't hate it for either one of those teams. I really don't. The Oklahoma City Thunder send Giddey in the 12th pick in the draft to the Trailblazers for Anthony Simons. I don't know. I want to see OKC get some like age, some experience, and two, some size. Anthony Simons doesn't do either one of those. So if you were going to cash in on Giddey in the first round pick, I mean, it's not bad value for Simons because he's certainly a great player, more offensive minded compared to like Lou Dort, for example. But I don't know. I don't love it for the Thunder. But yeah, for Portland, it's, I don't know. For Portland, what are they going to do? They got Scoot Henderson. He's also a point guard that can't shoot but a pass. What are they going to do with Josh Giddey? I don't know. That's kind of stupid for both teams, too. The Orlando Magic send Cole Anthony, Mo Wagner, Joe Ingles, and the 18th pick to the Nuggets for Porter Jr. Okay. This is interesting. Let me tell you why. Because the Magic could theoretically start 4 6'10 plus guys. They could put, well, what's Franz? 6'8, 6'9, whatever. You get the point. They could put Franz tall ass at the 2. They could put MPJ at the 3, Paulo at 4, Wendell at the 5. Whoo! For a Magic team that couldn't score, This a dub. This a dub for the Magic. I'm not gonna lie to you. This a dub. They only giving up 1 first round pick too. This a dub. Now for the Nuggets, I mean, they're adding some depth. I don't know. Cole Anthony could play a little bit. Mo Wagner, Ingles got some experience, but he's not super great no more. I don't know. Is this what MPJ's value is now? Like just a first round pick? That's kind of what the other trade was too. Has he soured people that much? I guess so. I don't know. That's dub for the Magic though. Moving on, we got the 76ers sending this number 16 pick to the Warriors for Moses Moody. I don't know. I mean, the Sixers have a lot of first-round picks to trade, or at least 3, I think. Do they want to cash in on one of them for Moses Moody? I don't know. Moses Moody's okay. I think he can still get better, but Sixers are trying to win now, so they're just absorbing him into their cap space. I don't know. I kind of would like to see the Sixers take a flyer on someone at 16, maybe like Khalil Ware or something like that. But I don't know. I don't really love it for Philly. But if you're the Warriors and you can get a, just out of the lottery pick, I don't hate it. It's another asset you could use to flip to get a star to help Curry or someone. The Phoenix Suns are getting Damian Lee in the 22nd pick from Marcus Sasser. Why do the Suns need another guard? That's stupid too. Right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't understand why the Suns would do that. The Pistons, you get a first-round pick from Marcus Sasser, fine. They open up some space in their backcourt for Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham and the rest of those guys. But for the Suns, that's stupid. But other than that, pretty much a nothing trade. The Trailblazers sent Malcolm Brogdon to the Magic for Jet Howard, Ingles in the 18th pick. The Magic obviously need more scoring. They could use some experience at the guard position. Is Malcolm Brogdon better than what they had last year? With Cole Anthony and Anthony Black and Jalen Suggs? Probably. He's got some health concerns too, but I don't know. I kind of would like to see the Magic go after more of a bucket getter, like a Tyler Hero or something like that. But yeah, that's okay. I mean, Jed Howard was kind of disappointing this season. And 18 is not super high in the draft or nothing. So that's okay for the Magic, though. And for Portland, yeah, you get a first-round pick from Malcolm Brogdon and a young player in Jet. That's probably what about Brogdon's value is now. The Sacramento Kings send Barnes, Herter, Davion Mitchell, the 13th pick. 3 total first-round picks to the Miami Heat for Jimmy Butler. If we were to trade Jimmy, 3 first-round picks I think is the minimum. Now, I don't want to trade Jimmy. I wouldn't do that. But if they had to, let's say he demanded a trade, I like the 3 first-round picks here. I think there's some still better deals than this. I saw one from the Spurs that could send like 3 first and Keldon Johnson. I know I was giving, Keldon Johnson crap earlier, but that's because I would have traded Duncan Robinson for him. But this is fine. I think I like this better than the Lakers trade earlier, even though Austin Reeves is better than those 3. I like Davion Mitchell, but the Heat don't need more defense. They need guys that can score. And Barnes is kind of, I don't know. Those three pieces would likely just be nothing. You'd really be doing this for picks. So whatever. Again, if the Heat could flip those picks for Spider, fine. For the Kings, I love it though, right? They're going all in. A big three of Sabonis at, your center and Jimmy at the 3, Fox at the 1. It's a great trade for them. I do like that for them. The Spurs send Keldon Johnson, Malachi Branham, Zach Collins, Blake Wesley, the 4th pick, the 8th pick, and another, 4 total first-round picks actually to the Suns for Devin Booker. I love it for the Spurs. Stop trying to waste a bunch of time like all these teams do to build around a guy. Now, I saw one the other day, the one I was just talking about, Jimmy to the Spurs. I don't love that as much because you only got 1 or 2 years of Jimmy, right? Of this Jimmy. Wemby's not even going to be in his prime in 2 years yet, right? Devin Booker obviously is a lot younger than Jimmy Butler, so they can continue to try to compete now so Wemby can stay happy, but they can also build in the future. That's why I like this trade for the Spurs, obviously. And if the Suns were going to blow it up, 4 first-round picks from Booker, plus maybe they could get 3 for KD. They'd have 7 total. That's not a bad way to start. Maybe they can even attach one of them to get rid of Bradley Beal's terrible contract. And now you got a clean cap space with 6 first-round picks. That would not be bad if the Suns decide to completely blow it up. So I'd like that for both teams. I have the Toronto Raptors sending Bruce Brown to the Warriors for Wiggins. Why? Again, is this just the Raptors trying to get Andrew Wiggins because he's from Canada? See, that's lazy writing. That's what I'm talking about. This is the second time that this guy put to get Andrew Wiggins to the Warriors. And see, here it is here. Wiggins, a Toronto native. Could be the player. Could be that player. No, what the hell are you talking about? Wiggins is no good. And Bruce Brown is. That's dumb. Huge dub for the Warriors. Every time this guy's had the Warriors in there, it's been a huge dub for the Warriors. This guy must be a Warriors fan. I have no doubt about it. Moving on, the Utah Jazz send John Collins and a late first-round pick, early second-round pick to the Heat for Duncan Robinson and Caleb Martin. Okay, this is something I'm more interested in. Let me tell you why. Because Caleb Martin is an impending free agent. He has a player option he can opt out of. The Heat likely cannot afford to keep him. So instead of losing him for nothing, you attach him to Duncan Robinson to get John Collins, who I think there actually is a fit for on this team at that starting 4 spot. Because if you got Keldon Johnson, where the hell is he going to play? Not in the starting lineup as it is now. John Collins is a guy that you could immediately put at the 4. I love Nikola Jovic. I think he'll be a great player one day. I think he was decent in the starting lineup. But at this day and age, John Collins is a better player. He's super athletic, something that this Heat team needs because they slow as hell. They bore me to death. So if you can get a guy like John Collins coming back home to South Florida, if he can improve his three-point shot, use his defense in this Eric Spoelstra system, I think he'll be a great player. Now, he gets paid a ton of money. So it would be kind of difficult to build a team around him and Bam and Jimmy, but they could flip Tyler to get some more depth. Now we're talking. I do like this trade for the Miami Heat. And if you are and they get 2 picks too. I like this from the Heat. You get another first-round pick to trade and an early second-round pick as an asset. This is a damn good trade for the Miami Heat. From the Jazz, again, they're just trying to get rid of John Collins, I guess. I don't know why. I don't know why they'd want Duncan or Caleb. They're not getting no assets. I guess John Collins is looked at as a negative asset because of the contract. But whatever, I like from the Heat perspective. And lastly here, we got the Washington Wizards who sent Kuzma and a first-round pick to the Cavs for Jarrett Allen. The Wizards, I mean, they kind of need everything, right? Is Jarrett Allen a better player than Kuzma at this point? Maybe not. But there's got to be some contractual situation here or something that truthfully doesn't interest me enough to get into. Anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. I've been talking for over 30 minutes. So if you stay to the end, go ahead and comment. What can we have y'all comment? Comment what you want to see me do when I hit 5K subs. Do you want to see a giveaway? Do you want to see me go to a Heat game and do something stupid? Let me know down below if you got this far. But most importantly, like the video and subscribe. Like I said, I'm working on some bigger and better series. So I hope y'all enjoy these articles because I kind of like talking other NBA stuff as well. A little bit of a Heat twist. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the video. I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Pull up in your city trying to get that dead fast. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had better kill him off, yeah, I need a headspace. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.